Alright, hello and welcome to episode 2 of what is now officially Nigel's views on Paxton Road TV. Today I think I want to talk about my boy, our boy, the Thomas Party Slayer, Tanguy Ndombele, and just basically what the hell's going on. Hold on, let me get comfortable because I've got a few things to say about this one. I'm at a point now where I don't get it. I don't get what the holdup is. This season, you're thinking we had our fitness issues last year. Jose didn't fancy you going over 70 minutes. That's fine, but you show you're clearly in our top five, top four best players on the team. No problem, especially talent wise. So if you can get a full preseason, you're not involved in the Euros. You've got a full preseason to hit the ground running. I'm expecting a breakout year from this guy. And obviously, things come in. He has his kid. He's in isolation of COVID, so he can't come in yet. He's not really heavily involved in the preseason until later, and he's not really playing a lot of minutes in it. And the comments coming out from Nuno are pretty non-committal regarding him. And you're just thinking now, okay, so where are we again? Are we at another bad preseason, another bad adjustment period, another injury-ridden season? What are we gonna get out of you now when we're 3 years into this? We're three managers into this. Well, four. Is it four? Poch, Jose, can't forget Ryan, and Nuno now. Um, I'm just not convinced that Nuno fancies him, and it blows my mind because as a fan, right, we all know the talent that Tanguy holds, and we've been dying to see him stamp his authority. I mean, I was texting my friends when he came over, and I was saying this guy is going to be a world beater, signing of the season, blah blah blah. Talent levels are insane. Yet we can't seem to find a manager that fancies him. Um, I think Jose was happy to let him walk. Pochettino wasn't desperate to put him into our squad, and I think as fans we've seen for a long time that our best team, our best midfield on paper that we'd want, the most talented team on paper that we'd want, Højbjerg, Ndombele, Lo Celso. And for some reason, we haven't been able to figure that out and get it on the pitch meshing. We've seen it a couple of times, and to be honest, throughout it's maybe been a Europa League game, it's maybe been just a Wednesday in Stoke, and it's never been on a big game that we've seen that come out the way that we fully expected. We're expecting with those three touching 70% possession. Do you know what I mean? That's what we're thinking. We're thinking Højbjerg is winning the ball. I mean, Tanguy Ndombele is turning everyone inside out, and Gio is just pinging passes through, one touch, two touch, and we're thinking we're in business here. Especially when we signed Bale. I mean, those fantasy starting lineups that we had, all the fans were thinking, yeah, this is the season. We're going to see it. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it's a Tottenham problem. I don't know if it's those two, well, Ndombele and Lo Celso. Their timelines never seem to cross. For one reason or another, I mean, it could be one's injured. Of course, they're both very injury prone. And it could be one's in favour with the manager and one isn't. And throughout their time in Tottenham, I mean, they've both been pretty inconsistent. Um, they've both had times where they've been electric, and they've had times where they've been on the fringes of the team, or they look lackluster, or their quality is just not there. And to be honest with you, I noticed Gio gets a lot more chances to fight through that than Tanguy. I've noticed managers fancy Gio a lot more than Tanguy. They're willing to get through it with Tanguy. Ryan Mason came in. He was not giving Tanguy a sniff of those minutes. And honestly, in that period, Gio was terrible, terrible. I think he finished the season pretty badly, to be honest. His quality was just not there. But managers were willing to see him through. I mean, we all saw that in the documentary. He gets injured. We're in a tough period, and Jose goes over to the medical staff and he's saying he's playing. That's the level of trust that the managers have in him. That's the level of grit he has. That's the level of respect he demands. And Gio's got, I think their two demeanors are completely different. You've got Gio, South American nasty. He's after it. He's flying in. Like you've got your midfielder who's liable to do a 2-footer at any point of the game, and his heart is in it, whether he plays well or not. And then you've got Tanguy, who's quality, but there's something about his demeanor. He just looks like he's in pain. He looks like it's hard for him. And whatever the running stats say, right? Because there was a period where when Kane was dropping in and Tanguy was pushing further up, he was our highest man up the pitch most of the time. When you looked at the heat maps, whatever the numbers say, it just looks hard. And whether I mean, he's the first footballer to start every football match and never reach 100% fitness. I mean, he's playing 70 minutes every single game last year, and still Jose doesn't trust him to go 90. So just says a lot. I mean, he reminds me of a friend I had. Played for Basewood with him. Best friend of mine. Lived 5 minutes up the road. We used to walk to games together, walk to training, everything. We're inseparable. We went to school together. So we turned up. He brought me to the team, and we arrive exactly at the same time every single time we go. My reputation at the club: gritty left back, got after it, dedicated to the game, loved the game, professional, as unprofessional as my team was. That was my reputation, right? Him, on the other hand, arrives with me. Somehow a reputation for being late, reputation for being nonchalant, reputation for being liberal with his time, liberal with his attitude towards the game. And we always used to laugh about it because, like, every time I was playing, he was playing with me. Every time I was at the park, he was at the park with me. And I know he loved the games. We used to spend hours watching it together. But it's just, once you have that demeanor, it's hard to brush it off. And once people make their mind up about you, I think that's Tanguy. I think Tanguy's got that limp. He's got that grimace, that Tanguy grimace. Somehow he's always grimacing. He's got when he hunches his shoulders before he does his little jog, and he's thrusting himself forward. And yeah, it just I don't think it fills managers with confidence. And we're down to the fourth manager who possibly doesn't fancy him. It's something that blows my mind, because we're at the point that he's come in. It's not like we've got Musa Dembele, Ericsson, keeping him out of the team. Do you know what I mean? It's not that. It's Winks getting minutes. It's Delhi's getting minutes in this preseason. It's other guys, and you kind of think, I really want you to do well because you're clearly one of our most talented players. You should be immovable. It's been 3 years, right? You should be immovable. And you just haven't kicked on. And I really think we're reaching a point where we kind of need to make a decision on the guy, because we've been waiting for it to come to fruition for a long time. We thought we made a breakthrough. He develops a relationship with Mourinho. Mourinho leaves. But now Serge is leaving, or it's not Serge and Aurier. Serge is leaving, Musa's leaving, and guess what? The rumours are popping up again. And back when this guy was not playing for us and the rumours were popping up, I said he could be the best player in the world, but if he's going to keep holding this club to ransom, sell him. And the fans kept saying, you know what, he's super talented. I agree. He's probably my second favourite player on the team behind Kane. That's a lie. Kane, Son, Ronaldo's, yeah, beautiful man. But he's probably my third favourite player. Just on a talent and a visual perspective, though, aesthetically pleasing, is definitely my favourite player. And even I think if these rumours keep coming out and this thing of holding our club ransom through the media, through reports, I don't know if I can keep supporting it. I think we need to make a decision. He's too good. You can't have a middle ground. Hold on. Player like Tanguy, we can't have a middle ground. We've got a Ferrari in the garage, behind boxes, under yearbooks, under school leaver pictures, under size 5 shoes that we grew out of. And we're not selling the Ferrari. We're not driving the Ferrari. We just have the Ferrari. And it's like, why have you got a Ferrari? Do you know what I mean? You've got to make your mind up. If it's like, if we've got a Corsa, cool, maybe you're saving it for your kid when he gets to college. I don't know what your plan is, but you can't have a Ferrari in the garage. And we have a Ferrari in the garage, and we're completely non-committal with it. It's 3 years now. There's a point where these settling in rumors, are you settled in or not? How are you not settled in? Do you know what I mean? Why are you threatening to leave because your two friends are gone? Why haven't you made more than two friends? Um, I'm I'm kind of I'm kind of done with it. I'd love for him to be the best player on Spurs. I think he has every capability of being. Whenever I watch Spurs with my family aren't the most technical football fans. So I mean, a player like the things that Højbjerg is doing, or the little sort of things that Kane might be doing in a game, the off ball runs, that stuff is lost on them. If Tanguy gets the ball and he does a little half turn, everyone in the living room is like, "Oh, who's that? Who's that? Who's that?" So he's electric. He could easily be the best player on our team at some point, but I would love for that to happen. But if the managers aren't going to fancy the kid, and we're down to four now, we've got to start thinking, all right, is there something we can start pointing the finger at him at? Is there something at Spurs where we can't get Gio, Højbjerg, and Tongi on the pitch together? It doesn't look like we're looking to bolster in the midfield. It's not like an area that we're desperate to fill. Um, I just don't know where we go from here. It's 3 years. You're not settled. You are too good to be a squad player. Too good, too valuable. Inter and Barca were willing to take him off our hands. Conte was willing to take him off our hands. There were suitors when we signed him, record signing. He's just too good to be in this state of limbo again. This season we've got Man City coming up in our first game, and Nuno seems in no rush to get match fit. It's as a fan of Tongi, as a fan of Tottenham, and as a fan of football, it hurts me to see that this is where he's at. Does Tottenham hold responsibility for not being able to get those three on the pitch? Maybe, because I mean we had arguments for ages on Paxton, because me and Darius 3K, we're arguing that we are not getting the best out of the players on this squad, especially in the Mourinho era. This squad is better than what it is, and Mourinho is the one who had an extended amount of time really to figure out this Tongi and Gio thing. I think when Poch had him, he was in and out of the team with injuries. He was adjusting to English football, but the Mourinho time was when it should have clicked, and that's not gone his way because Gio was injury ridden. It felt like Mourinho was only willing to play one at a time, and do you want to blame Mourinho for that? I'm happy to. Believe me, I'm happy to. Do we want to blame both of them for not finding they should both be at a point where they can stamp their authority on the team and be undroppable, of which they haven't done. This season was the one that I was waiting for, and honestly, this season has to be the one. I'm not accepting this bad preseason. It has to be the one. We're at a point with you now, Ndombele, and I love you, but it's at a point. It's a crossroads. There has to be a decision on your career. Are you the Musa Dembele replacement that we're looking for? Are you going to be that ball carrier, that transition player, that mercurial player who creates something out of nothing for us that we all know you can be? Or is it 60 minutes, or if it's cold, we're not tracking back? Is it There's got to be a decision here. There's got to be something done with this Ferrari, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm hoping Nuno's just answering questions badly, because I don't know how, as a manager, when you come into our team, your priority isn't to get the best out of Tongi, Lo Celso, and Højbjerg. That's one of the most exciting parts of our team. If that's something he's decided he doesn't want to do, if it's something he doesn't find balanced, then pick one. Do you know what I mean? They're both too good to just be sitting there. I think Messi wanted Gio at Barca, which is a bit irrelevant now, but I'm sure both of those players won't be short of suitors. It's one of those. decision has to be made on Ndombele, and I pick him out because he's by far the most talented out of our midfielders, and he's had a long time settle. And these rumors coming out saying that he's thinking of leaving, it's not washing with me, bro. The responsibility is on you as a man. You gotta figure this out, or we've gotta say what it is. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe. Um, and yeah, episode 2 of Nigel's Views.